One of the common misconceptions of the amateur audiophile is that if I clean my vinyl, my records are going to sound great. Unfortunately, there's other components that come into play. Of course, the type of turntable you have, whether it's a low-end or a high-end turntable, and what type of cartridge and stylus you have. And of course, the cleanliness of your cartridge and stylus is going to have a direct impact on whether or not your records will sound great. You can have a clean record and a dirty stylus and not be getting the optimal sound that you want to get out of your records. So I thought I'd make a quick video just to talk about maintaining your stylus and how to clean your stylus and cartridge. This particular turntable that we're working with today is a family heirloom. It was my father's. It's the Pioneer PL550. It was manufactured in late 1975, early 1976, so well over 30 years. And the reason why I've hung on to it all these years is not only because it's a family heirloom, but also because it just sounds great. It's a higher end turntable, kind of made in the golden age of turntables, and it just sounds wonderful. Now the particular cartridge that I'm using is a cartridge made by SHURE, and it's the M97XE. Now this particular cartridge is certainly not the most expensive cartridge that you can buy, but is basically a middle-of-the-road cartridge that has been on the market for a number of years now, and it's basically become known for being a great sounding cartridge at an affordable price. It usually runs at about $100 or $120. So if you're looking into getting kind of an entry-level, middle-of-the-road, but great sounding cartridge, I definitely would love for you to check out the SHURE M97XE. That's the one that's installed on this one. Now just so that we are on the same page, let me take off the actual cartridge. There's a screw on the back of the tone arm, and I simply turn that to the right and my cartridge will pop off. Now just to talk a little bit about the different parts of the cartridge, this is the cartridge head right here that the actual cartridge is screwed into. That comes with the turntable. The electronic component down here that holds the stylus is called the cartridge, and then the stylus itself, or rather what some people call the needle that comes into contact with the records in the grooves and actually replicates the sound that you hear through the amplifier and speakers, is that diamond tipped needle that you see when I hold it like that. If I hold it against with my flesh in the back, you can see it turn up there. But those are the three parts of this. This particular cartridge is unique in the sense of that it has a brush on the front end, and that brush actually comes in contact with the vinyl prior to the needle receiving the signal, and the manufacturers have done that basically so that it can eliminate any dirt or debris that's on its way of potentially coming in the way of the stylus, so that you get a more rich sound. But even with that, sometimes you will notice that your stylus will still have residue. Sometimes it'll have clumps of dust on it. So it's really important that you clean your stylus really after every time you play your record. Now there's a great solution that I've found that's great to clean your stylus with. It is called the High Clean 801, and it's made by a Chinese company called Negaoka. I think I'm saying that right. And that's available on eBay and Amazon and a couple other online outlets. But again, it's called High Clean 801. And the way that you clean your stylus is very, very simple. This is in a kind of a nail polish type unit. So you basically just dab off the excess when you take out the little brush. And you basically want to take your cartridge, hold it on its back, and you want to take that brush and you simply want to dab it on the stylus and just give it a couple of brushes and let that solution just penetrate and lift off any debris or any dust that may be on that stylus. Now you're also going to have to clean, if you have a cartridge like this that has a brush that comes in contact before the stylus, you'll also want to make sure that you clean that as well. So really, after every time you play a record, or certainly after every time you play a number of records, you want to make sure that you're putting the solution on the stylus and removing any debris that could have been built up from playing a dirty record, or even the greatest record cleaners sometimes will not get everything, and you'll have a clump that was lodged in a groove be stuck on your stylus, and you want to make sure that you get that off with your cleaner. Again, that's the High Clean 801. Now, the people at SHURE have thought of everything, and when you buy a cartridge like this, they also include a little brush that comes with it. And anytime I'm playing a record, before I flip the record and play the other side, or before I change the record and flip the other side, I simply take that brush and I just give it a quick little wipe underneath. And what that does is, again, that frees any dirt or dust that's collected on the stylus, as well as the front-facing brush. And by doing that, I'm really keeping the stylus dust clean and debris clean, so that when I go to play it, especially if I'm playing a record that I've recently cleaned, which such is the case, I'm getting the optimal sound out of my speakers.
I was hungry and I was cold, had a father far too old, couldn't make it to the place you'd like to be.
So great sound. Again, a clean record and a clean stylus is the recipe for getting the most out of your record collection. It'll not only help maintain your stylus and your records, but really you'll be getting the optimal sound out of your stereo system.